Hi, so I'm going to quickly recap on how we get the timer in. So we've done another video on this, but here we go. When the game starts, so when the flag's clicked, and what we're wanting to do is to create a variable. Remember, a variable is like what you do in science, something that can be changed. Make a variable, call it something sensible, time. Okay, and then what we want to do is set the variable. Now this didn't work before for me because I didn't have it on time variable. And then what I want to do is change my variable by 1. Remember though, it's got to be time, and it wasn't by 1 because we are going to set the time to start at 30 seconds. So change it by, can you remember, -1. Okay, now we want to do that over and over again, but not forever. We want to use a loop, so we want to use a repeat loop, and we need to make sure that that goes in there. I change that to 30. Okay, now each step I would have probably tested it to see if it works. What I need to make sure, I'm going to show here to show you that it works. It looks like it doesn't, but you can see here it is working, but it's going too quick, so we need to tell it to wait a moment. So here you go, wait 1 second. Bop. Okay, so that's working. Let me double check. Play. There we go, counting down. So now what I want to do is when it counts all the way down to 0, I want to change the screen. So what I'm going to do is have the backdrop, the stage here, and I'm going to make there's probably another way of doing it, but I'm going to make a new stage, a new screen with, I'm going to use this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that. I'm going to put in some text, because what I'm going to say is get this screen to say game over, and then when it gets to 0 we just change from one screen to another. Where's text? Text there. Type on game over. Can I make it bigger? I presume so. And then drag it out. There you go. Drag it out. Game over. Too big. There you go. That'll do. Game over. And we could add something else to it, but I'm going to do it nice and quick. So going back to the original one, going to the code, what I'm going to do is have to think, what do I want to do in real life? When this counts down to 0, what I want to do is to change it so that the backdrop changes from this backdrop to this backdrop. Okay, that's what we want to do in real life. How am I going to do it? Well, luckily some girls were with me and they helped me to remember and to work out how to do it. Okay. We need to use a conditional. If the time is 0, then change the backdrop. So here we go. If the time is 0, and then I needed to look down and see if there's anything I can fit in here. I'm thinking if the time is 0, if the time equals 0, is there anything in there? No. Is there? Oh, what? Look at these. These fit in, don't they, into that block there. Something equals 50. That's just the example that they've got in there. Click it in. Now what do I need to put in there? If the time equals 0. Okay, so can I fit something in there? This is a bit tricky, this, isn't it? But I think we can do it. That's the same shape. That gives me a clue. So I'm thinking if I can pop that in there, if the time equals 0. Now I've not got, I could click this on here, but I'll do it as a separate piece of code, a separate string of code. So I'm going to put that in again. Alright, so at the moment when the thingy is clicked, so for at the beginning, if the time equals 0, then, well, it's not doing anything. So I need to change how it looks. Alright, so I'm going to click on looks, how it looks, and here we go. We've got it this here, switch backdrop. Now I don't know which is backdrop 1, so I've got to look at the backdrops jungle, neon. Okay, can you see the names there? Neon and jungle. I don't know why I've got all these ones. I should probably just delete them. I will do later. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to change it to backdrop 1. I'm going to change it to neon tunnel. Okay, and that hopefully works. I'm going to, I'll tell you what, because I don't want to sit and wait for ages, I'm going to change the time to 5. And I'm going to repeat 5. And then obviously I'll change it back again later. This is just for us to have a little look and test and check. Let's see if it works. Hope so. Might not do though. If it's not, and what's happened now? Okay. Why has that not worked? If the time equals 0, switch backdrop to neon tone. I don't know why that hasn't worked. Let's try it again. Is it up here? Up here? No? I'm glad I didn't wait 30 seconds. See, we all make mistakes. Why is that doing that? Okay. I'm going to pause this and have a think. Pause. Hi. So I think I've worked out what the problem was. I'm going to switch it to backdrop again. It's gone on the jungle. What I was missing was, you might have spotted it. It wasn't happening throughout the whole of the game. It was, we've had this problem before. I just needed to make sure that it's happening all through the game. So I need the forever loop. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put that in there. So there's loops in there. Okay, the conditional in the loop. Let's see if it works this time. Fingers crossed. There you go. It works, thankfully. Okay, now did you see what I had to do before I went into the backdrop and changed it back again? We may as well tell the script to do that at the start, because we've already used this switch to backdrop one, so it's how it looks. And there we go, switch to backdrop 1. I don't want to switch to backdrop 1 at the beginning of the game. Look at this, it's outside of the loop. I want it to be, which backdrop did I say it was? Jungle 2. And this is why it'd be easier if I did delete all those backdrops. Jungle 2. And so when I now press play, it should automatically start. Oops, not done it. Set the backdrop to jungle 2. It should put that in there. Does it go in there? I don't think it does. Set switch backdrop to backdrop 2, and it's clicked. Strange. Yet again, I'm going to have to pause. Oh, I think I've stopped it. Where is it? Oh, it's there. So I'm not sure why that wasn't working then, because I've just pulled out the chunk of code. I put it in there and it worked if I put it in there, and then I put it back in here and it worked. Perhaps I didn't press the flag. Let's start again. Is it going to work? Fingers crossed. There you go, it's changed it. So I play the game, play the game, play the game, play the game, game over. Now you must remember that I've got to go back now and change that back to 30 seconds. And back to repeat for 30 times. Okay, well done. Hopefully. It's a little bit tricky, but obviously this is the more advanced things. Then I'm going to make some videos to show you how to add a score, which I really like that part. Good luck.